Let me ask you something real quick. You paying more rent this year than you were last year? Yeah, I thought so. And here's what's why landlords are still not budging on the price, but suddenly they're throwing in free parking, waiving fees, skipping the application cost. What is actually going on out here? Stick with me, because by the time this video is done, you're gonna understand exactly what's driving the rental market in 2026. And if you're a renter or an investor, this information could literally save you money. Let's get into it. If you're new here, I'm William. I talk real estate, wealth building, and the stuff they don't teach you in school. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Now back to rents. Alright, so let's go back real fast. A couple years ago, 2023, 2024, if you were hunting for an apartment, landlords were basically begging you to sign. 3 months, waive fees, gifts just to get you in the door. That wasn't them being generous, that was oversupply doing its thing. Builders went crazy after the pandemic. They were throwing up apartment buildings everywhere, Texas, Florida, Phoenix, all across the Sun Belt. And for a minute, there were more units than there were people to fill them. Classic supply and demand. Too much supply, prices stall out. But here's where the script flips. Building new apartments got expensive, interest rates went up, land costs jumped, labor got tighter. A lot of developers just stopped mid-project. So now you've got fewer new buildings hitting the market right at the same time demand is creeping back up. People are forming new households. People got priced out of buying a home, so they're staying renters longer than they ever planned. So what does all that mean for you right now in 2026? Rent growth is picking back up. Not the crazy double-digit spikes we saw right after COVID. This is more of a slow, steady climb. A few percent a year. But here's the thing. Rents were already sitting at historic highs before any of this started. So even a small increase on top of an already expensive baseline, that still stings when you're the one signing the lease. That's what people mean when they say rents are stabilizing. It doesn't mean affordable. It just means the runaway spike is over. The costs are still high. They're just climbing at a pace you can actually predict now. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because this is not playing out the same everywhere. And some of what's happening right now, almost nobody predicted going into this year. Take those Sunbelt cities, Texas, Florida, Southeast, the ones that got absolutely flooded with new units over the last few years. Rents actually fell in some of those markets because there were too many shiny new buildings competing for the same renters. Landlords were slashing prices just to keep units filled. But now, that extra inventory is getting absorbed, and those same cities are seeing some of the fastest rent growth in the whole country right now. Complete reversal from where things were just 12 months ago. Then you've got your coastal cities, places where there just isn't much land left, where zoning makes new construction painfully slow. Those markets never got that temporary relief. So renters there are feeling the squeeze on top of rent levels that were already sky high. Basically, wherever builders pulled back the hardest, that's where you're going to feel it the most. There's also something happening underneath all of this that we need to talk about. Mortgage rates are still high enough that a lot of people who'd normally be buying their first home right now are stuck renting instead. sometimes for years longer than they planned. That keeps demand for apartments elevated even as fewer new units get built. So you've got shrinking supply, A and D, stubborn demand, both pulling in the same direction. That combination is exactly why forecasters keep saying rent growth is going to keep ticking upward through the rest of 2026, even if it's not dramatic. So let's make this practical. What do you actually do with this information? First, if you're in one of those previously oversupplied cities, you might still catch the tail end of decent deals before the market fully turns. If you're looking to lock in a lease, now could be the window before rents climb further. Second, don't expect landlords to keep giving away free months and waived fees. That window is closing fast as vacancy rates tighten back up. And third, if you're in a supply constrained market, budget for rent to keep climbing gradually. Plan ahead, negotiate where you can, and don't wait until the last minute to renew or start searching. The rental market isn't crashing and it isn't booming. It's finding a new normal. And that new normal still means higher costs than most people are used to. That's just the reality of where we are right now. Now, if you're an investor watching this, and I know a lot of you are, this environment tells me one thing: apartments aren't going out of style. The fundamentals are too strong. Demand is sticky, supply is constrained, and people aren't buying homes at the rate they used to. That's why I personally have my eye on apartment deals and commercial assets right now as my next move. The single family game is solid, but the numbers in multifamily make a lot of sense in this kind of market. If you want to talk strategy on that, drop a comment below or hit the booking link in the description. That's the real picture on apartment rents in 2026. Not the hype, not the doom and gloom, just the actual data and what it means for you on the ground. If this helped you make sense of what's going on, do me a favor, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me what city you're watching, and subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. I've got more on housing trends, Phoenix market moves, and where the smart money is heading next. I'm William, this is Wealth Crush 11. I'll see you in the next one.